Hi, I'm Tyler, and this is Coach Meredith. He's a basketball coach here for the team at our school. How are you today?
I'm doing great. How about yourself?
I'm doing pretty good. So, starting off, can you bring us through the journey of how you became a basketball coach and why you did so?
I just always loved the game, played the game growing up, played at Beech Grove High School. And then when I went to Ball State University, it's just something I thought I wanted to do with my life and make it a career. So staying involved with basketball was something that I always wanted to do. And once I started coaching at Ben Davis High School and then Avon High School, I just knew it was in my blood and it was something that I wanted to do for a career. And so glad to have the opportunity to do it here as the head coach at Greenfield-Central High School.
Cool, cool. So, did you go to college, and if you did, what did you do there?
I went to Ball State University, graduated in 2005, majored in elementary education, and had an endorsement for physical education, and was also a part of the women's scout team. So that kind of helped me grow my game and model after the coaches there with the women's staff. But basically, we were the scout team for other teams in the MAC, Kent State, Miami of Ohio. And so we would watch film and we would be, the point guard for that team, and they're a shooter or they're a driver. And so that was really one way for me to still be a part of the game and grow my knowledge of wanting to be a coach.
Cool. So, can you describe to us what a typical practice for your team would look like?
Yeah, I mean, I'm a creature of habit. So let's say Belling's at 3:25, 3:45 after school. Kids are going to be, they all have assigned seats in our locker room up on the whiteboard, much like a classroom. I would put objective or keys to victory or goals and plans for whoever we're playing. Like, for example, we play at Pendleton Heights, a sectional and a conference opponent. We're talking about MIGs, most important guys, what they do offensively, what they do defensively. Then we transition out onto the court. Once again, I'm a creature of habit, so they know Mondays, Michigan Monday, Tuesday, Taylor Tuesday, Wednesday, Kentucky Wednesday. So that's the way we start. We do individual skills, we do team skills, we do a ton of shooting, but it's kind of a routine, and I think that helps through the journey of a long 4 or 5 month season.
Okay. So, out of basketball, what do you expect your athletes? How do you expect them to do in their classes?
I mean, a goal should be honor roll for every single one of them, A's and B's, and then also behaviorally. I mean, all athletes are going to have a target on their back as far as representing our program and representing our school. So they have to do what they're supposed to do as far as being disciplined and staying out of trouble and being a role model for kids. But then, like I said, I mean, we don't want F's. That's a huge thing. They have to be eligible, but they should be held to a higher standard. So our goal for all of our athletes is A's and B's.
So, you talk about like being a role model. What are your core values as a coach?
For me, we talk about core values in a basketball program. It's give reps, respect, effort, pride, teamwork. But the big thing for that, we talk about respect, giving it and getting it. But effort, juice is something that has become synonymous with our basketball program. But effort is huge. We can coach kids with not a ton of talent, but we can't coach kids that aren't going to give everything that they have. So that's a big thing for us is effort.
Yeah, as you mentioned, you always say bring the juice. How would you develop community support for a team?
Well, that's one of the things that if you come and you watch us play and you pay your $6 and you're a fan of our community and you live in Greenfield and you just show up, we always talk about the standard is the standard in how hard we play and what you expect. When you buy a product, you have a standard to continue buying that product because you know what it is, you know what it's going to give you. So our product is how hard we play. And so we talk about developing community support as people wanting to support us because they know win, lose, or draw, we're going to give us everything that we have. And we call that emptying our bucket. All of our energy, all our resources, everything that we have is going to go into trying to make our community proud.
So, what would you like? How would you approach your team if they were struggling?
Well, we lost 4 games in a row, in December and January. And my big thing was show up and do the work. It doesn't matter what our record is. It doesn't matter win or lose. It doesn't matter any of those things, because in life, when things don't go well, you have no other choice but show up and do the work.
What are your off-season expectations for your athletes?
Well, we do a lot. After the season is over, it'll be sometime after spring break. We're going to meet and do as much as we can as far as the IHSAA guidelines, but the kids have to put in work on their own. Basketball is a skill sport, and basketball certainly is a sport where you can tell who has put in the work, whether it's playing AAU, whether it's doing what we do in our off-season workouts in the spring and in the summer and in the fall. But there's an old quote that basketball coaches use a lot that, there'll come a time when winter shows up and it's really going to show what you've put in the off-season in the summer. So, those results are not just going to be handed to you, and shooters aren't just born, they're made. And so, in the weight room, on the basketball court, putting in that work and working harder than others is something that we really value in our program.
How would you handle criticism from an audience for a loss?
And that's part of the gig, right? That's part of the job. Everybody wants to be that armchair quarterback. Everyone wants to talk to you, talk about you, talk about your decision making. But I know I work hard. I know our staff works hard, and I know our kids work hard. So I'll take any and all blame for all the losses and give all the credit to the kids. But we have a good staff, and I know that's part of it. I know we're not going to win every single game, but I know deep down if I gave everything that I had, that's all I can ask for myself. So,
yeah, how would you handle parents who have concerns about their child's playing time?
Yeah, I get it. I have two young men of my own, Carter and Cole, that are fifth grade and third grade, and I know it's to a very smaller degree, but they play on JUICE teams, and when they play, I only watch them, and I get myself caught in that just being a parent, so I understand that. I can empathize a little bit that to a smaller degree of playing travel basketball, but I won't talk to parents about their kids' playing time until I first talk to the kid. I want whatever player that has concerns, and not necessarily about playing time, but anything in life, academics, going through a difficult time. I want them to be able to knock on the door and talk to me and talk to our staff in the locker room and talk to our basketball office before we talk to anything else regarding a parent.
So you really try and be a role model?
Absolutely. That's my number one job.
All right. So how would you handle a rejection and tryout process?
That's one of the most difficult times. The hardest part of coaching is the cut and tryouts, and then having those kids that are good kids, or kids that have been in the program in the past, or kids that you currently have in class, and you make cuts on a Tuesday, and then Wednesday morning they're there, and it's a difficult part, but it's just one of those things that you have to do, and it's a hard thing, and it's not easy, but it's one of those things we tell the kids: keep working, keep grinding, don't give up, and things will work out in the end if you don't give up.
All right. How many of the athletes have you worked with that have gone to college to play basketball?
That's a goal. We have team goals, and then we have personal goals. And so a lot of those kids that may not necessarily be in basketball, but, whether it's Brady Mundell playing baseball at UND, or Caleb Mundell having success playing college soccer at UND, or Jake Cochran, he's at Buena Vista playing basketball. Joey Rowland, Rashawn Street, and those guys are going to continue to play college football next year. Dylan Moles just received a full ride scholarship to go play at Marion. And so, that's a goal, and that's something that, we talk with the parents and we talk with the kids if they want to continue to play. But it's not easy. I think a lot of kids and parents think that it is easy to play at the next level. And then when they get down to it and they realize that, hey, there's only 3 or 4% of all high school athletes that get an opportunity to play, whether it's NAIA, D3, D2, or D1. But if that's a goal, we try to strive and make that happen if at all possible.
Definitely. Can you tell us about, in your opinion, your best game you've ever had?
That's tough, man. Best game I've ever had, just most memorable. We won a sectional title in 2018 when I was the varsity on. So that was a great memory, cutting down the net and going through the adversity and the journey of the season. Our New Pal game last year, they beat us the first time, and then it was at Richmond. It was just a perfect scene for our kids, and they deserved it all, and they played their tails off. So I would say those two are probably the most memorable games that I've had.
Cool. All right, that's all the time we have. Thanks for talking to me.
Hey, you're welcome. Thanks for having me. Go Cougars.
Yeah, good.